Oh, man. First off, I need to say, congratulations, Eric Almirola. You proved today, even though this was a restrictor plate race, doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter at all. You've been close so many times, but you put the number 10 car in victory lane. The other driver, who her name should not be mentioned, do crap. But okay. But the important topic but we need to talk about something today, and that is this race. Why do I describe this race? It sucked. Oh my God! What was the show today? My goodness! NASCAR, NASCAR. This is the most anticipated race we can go to all season. Even the spring race, where we can expect drivers like the lower T drivers, the under budget teams, to perform well. We expect crazy racing. We expect everything out of this. Even you put stages in there to make it even more aggressive. Okay, you even put stages. But this race, what? Oh my God, I can't even describe this race because of how bad this race was. And no, I better not get any comments that said this race was a good race. Okay, first up, even if Chase Elliott were to win this race, it would still be bad. It will still be bad. To prove I'm not biased, okay? And to prove I'm not a biased Eric Almirola fan, it was good for him to win a race, finally, after I don't know how many races, ever since 2014 in Daytona, July race. This race was bad. It was the worst race at Talladega I've ever seen. Is it worse than the spring race? The spring race and the spring and fall race were terrible. Absolutely terrible. Terrible all around. I do not want to talk. There is not much stuff to talk about. Okay, so first up, I just need to point some things out. Stewart-Haas Racing. They are a good team. I cannot blame them for this, okay? They are out there trying to win races and stuff like that. And I'm like how, and hey, there is no team orders here at Stewart-Haas Racing. It doesn't matter. I mean, none of those drivers were going to let anyone win. That was for sure. But, man, this race, like I said, it sucked. It absolutely did, and I don't know how can I describe this. So let's just get this straight. This is the same package we go to Daytona, right? Daytona. The two Daytona races this year, even though they're kind of just wreck fests, you could say, they were at least entertaining races. They were at least good. The July race at Daytona was the best restrictor plate race you could say all season. You could say it's the best race all season. But I just need to... But I just do not know how. I just do not know why. And plus, Twitter's going crazy as usual. Because, man, they can agree, too, that this race sucked. It absolutely did. So, like I said, this is the same package we bring to this track, right? This is the same package we bring to Daytona, right? So the question I have for the drivers is, and for NASCAR, and that is one... You can be aggressive at Daytona, but you can't at Talladega. That's the question. That is my number one question. Daytona and Talladega are easily the same track. Talladega is just more bigger and more wider. But how in the actual, you know what? How do we get this type of bad racing? I just need a clarification. I need clarification. Was it because, one, the SHR cars were just too gosh darn fast? Because we can't do nothing about that. I mean, the team, they don't care. They are out there to win races and stuff like that. They can care less about the whole show and stuff like that. But sometimes the drivers create a really good show. I mean, the teams are out there, like Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch. They don't care if they dominate the whole race. They're out there to win races and stuff like that, and just to be the best car out of all the drivers today. But yeah, like I said. Now to clarify anyone to me, what makes a good race at Daytona or Talladega? I'm just gonna flip my phone. I'm just gonna flip my phone right here because honestly I just want to be making this video right now. But anyways, what frick, I kind of forgot. So I mean, like, first, who can we really blame? You know, my God, I kind of just forgot what I just was about to say, but I feel like I was gonna say something important today. But yeah, no, okay. What makes a good race at Daytona and Talladega? Well, first off, what makes a good Daytona and Talladega race for me and probably for the other fans, and as one, drivers side by side. I know it's a meme now, but I don't care. Drivers are side by side trying to drop one another. Drivers trying to get help from each and every one. Drivers being aggressive, not too aggressive like it's the end of the race or a stage. The best restrictor plate race that you can get was probably the 2016 Daytona 500. That was probably maybe the last restrictor plate race that was actually kind of good. But I don't know. I mean, the restrictor plate races for the past couple of years, these past couple of restrictor plate races have been terrible. They've been terrible. They've been terrible. First off, and people can just say, this is just not the year for Talladega. This is not the year for Talladega. Like, they could say, oh, Dale Jr. left, so it's not exciting that much anymore. And I don't blame the fans that didn't show much up to the race, because there were some pretty much empty seats at the track. Yeah, I can understand. I mean, Dale Jr., he was at the track, and Seppi was in the booth, so it doesn't really matter. But really, I just feel the deal like, the drivers, here's the message to the drivers. To the drivers who just want to stay around, stay single file all day, you're nothing but pussies. You're nothing but pussies. You are chickens. Go out there. Race. Don't get scared if you're going to get caught up in the big one. Because here's the way to race at Talladega. Even Daytona. Be smart and don't be stupid. Okay? Please start and don't be stupid. Okay? And also, I just need to say one thing. There wasn't even a big one in the race. If this race had side-by-side racing where drivers, and it was really entertaining, and there was no big one, then, oh my God, that was actually a good race. That was actually be a good race. But instead, we get single-file freight train all day, dominated by the Stewart-Haas racing cars. This is the first time I'm actually saying that someone was actually dominant at these Daytona and Talladega races, because usually no one is dominant. No one is dominant because, well, you can say Penske cars and stuff like that, but no one can predict who can win this race. No one can predict who could win this race. And except for today, there was actual dominance. Kurt Busch led the most laps, I think, today. If I'm right. There was only 14 lead changes. And is there any underdog driver that finished in the top 10 that actually got a good run? I probably don't even know. No one probably didn't even do it at all. And plus, and the one thing I do like, and that is one, there wasn't any big wrecks where, small teams were collected in them. Because really, this is a race where they're just trying to go out there and have a good run. But instead they can't do that because, one, these big team drivers are just dominating the race and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't really know. Now, you're probably understanding that I'm not going bits by pieces of the races because because really, those are just minor things. Those are just minor things, okay? Well, I guess you could say the minor thing was Kyle Larson. Okay, also, here's one thing I just need to say. Kyle Larson, he's not going to make it to the next round. That's the one thing I have to say. Alex Bowman, he's not going to make it either, so I don't know. Let's actually just go over the race results. Alright, so here are the results for today's 1,000 balls 500 at Talladega. So Eric Almirola was the winner. I'll talk about him. After this, I'm going to talk about the positives of the race because too negative, I feel like. Then we have Clint Bowyer, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano. That's the top 5. AJ Allmendinger, Jimmy Johnson, Eric Jones, Paul Menard, Regan Smith finishes in 10th. That's actually pretty good. Kyle Larson, Rex Matt Benedetto, because he doesn't know how to drive at restricted plate tracks. Also, Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch were also in that wreck. Even though Chase Elliott won, I'm just like, even though this sucked. It sucked. Wish he could have finished the race. Then we got Brendan Gaughan. Brendan Gaughan, good run by Brendan Gaughan. Trevor Bayne, Kurt Busch, which he actually ran out of gas at the end of the race. That's kind of how stuff happens. Then you have Ty Dillon, Daniel Suarez. Also here's the deal about Suarez. I mean, Suarez, he's a good restrictor plate racer, and you still don't get a top 10. Explains why the MTJ is gonna knock your ride out when you get there. You have Joey Gase in the 00. That's really good for Joey Gase. Darrell Wallace Jr., the team finished the race with their only car because they didn't have a backup car, so yeah. William Byron, Chris Buescher, Landon Castle finished 22nd. And then you got Martin Truex Jr., Ross Chastain, Ryan Newman, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, who I know ran out of fuel, Ryan Blaney, I know ran out of fuel, and then Matt DiBenedetto, Chase Elliott, Corey LaJoie, Alex Bowman, DJ Kennington, Jamie McMurray, who was caught in an incident, Jeffrey Earnhardt, who brought the first caution of the day, Cody Ware, David Reagan, Michael McDowell. These two drivers had 2 incidents, and David Reagan, he was carrying the sponsor of the race, so that was actually kind of good. And you want to know something out of all these drivers? There's only 1 DNF added today. This is just so weird just to see that all the drivers, even though they were running, it doesn't matter they're, I don't know how many laps down, they were still running in the race. And there's only 1 DNF out of today. That's just weird. That is just so weird. Okay, so I do not have the results for the point standings, but I just want to clarify that I believe that Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman, I think maybe Clint Bowyer are out of the picture right now. And Chase Elliott and Eric Almirola are the ones guaranteeing it. So now let's talk about the positives of the race. Thanks to the wreck with Alex Bowman and J.J. Yaley, we got an exciting finish to the race. Only 2 laps were the most exciting ones out of the day. Well, at least Talladega can make an exciting finish. Even though they couldn't do anything at all. And also, drivers were run out of gas, so that kind of helped the ending. And also, Eric Almirola winning this race at Talladega. Good job, man. Good job. Good job. You know what? I think we just needed. I mean, who should not be named, didn't do anything in that race car. Eric Almirola got a win. And even though it was a restricted plate judge, and whoever her name was, she couldn't get a win either. And also, the 10 car has actually been competitive all season. And one thing is guaranteed, and one thing you want to know happened? All 4 Stewart-Haas racing cars had won a race in a season. Kevin Harvick has 7 wins. Clint Bowyer has 2 wins. Kurt Busch has a win. And Eric Almirola has a win. 4 Stewart-Haas racing cars won all season. That's pretty good for Stewart-Haas racing, stuff like that. And yeah, so that's kind of the only positive thing of the whole entire race right there. And so I just want to say a couple things to us NASCAR fans. I just have to say one thing. I'm so sorry, you guys, that we did not get a good race today. I just feel like that restrictor plate racing should just be gone forever. I'm just tired of it already. And I'm gonna be glad at the end of the Daytona 500 we won't be having restrictor plate racing, and instead we're gonna have that new aero package, which we don't know what that thing is gonna do. But if it sucks, it sucks. Then Daytona and Talladega are just not gonna be exciting races no more. It's just gonna be bad races. We're gonna have a lot of probably bad races next year, probably for these two, for Talladega and maybe Daytona. But Daytona, for the Daytona 500 will probably be the only good race. So anyways, sorry if this video was just negative. This race was terrible today. It was terrible, 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 terrible. Thank God for the next couple races. We're going to Kansas, which I'm hoping Kansas is good. Probably going to be a pretty good elimination race. Martinsville, we're going to Martinsville. I'm excited for Martinsville. Finally, we're going to a short track. Then Texas, that's probably going to suck. And Phoenix, well, Phoenix, we had a good race last year, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.